Thank goodness, Jameson. Well, protecting our kids is a parent's #1 priority, right? But once they go to school, what happens then? Well, that's when they could be most vulnerable because of a growing problem across this country, bullying. And some say their only hope is homeschool. Here's ABC Action News anchor Serena Fazan with a closer look on this growing trend.
The statistics are staggering, enough to keep parents up at night. Every 7 minutes, a child will be bullied. That means at least 4 in this newscast alone, and only a quarter of the time when an adult step in. It's not because we don't want to, it's just because we're not aware of it until it's spiraling out of control.
I wish I would have paid closer attention because I know that she complained about it for a year prior to me really taking notice of it.
A father of 3 girls at wit's end, not wanting to be identified to protect his eldest.
Because I don't want this to impact my child any more than it already has.
The constant bullying starting in her sophomore year.
She would eat lunch in a bathroom stall to hide from the other children because she knew that if she was in that lunchroom, she was going to take nonstop abuse.
He tells me he repeatedly went to school officials and then tried therapy to help his daughter cope. Her sister, a year younger, even confronted the bullies.
I tried my best because I watched my sister go through it.
Feeling helpless, they made a life-changing decision.
I just took her out of the public school system and put her into homeschooling to try to save her life and build her self-esteem back up.
If she didn't get out of that environment, she would have killed herself.
They are not alone. More Florida parents are homeschooling their children, bullying being one of the top reasons. State data shows the highest increase in a decade, with nearly 10,000 kids now learning at home. Clinical psychologist Dr. Stacy Schechner stands firm homeschooling should be a last resort.
I think it's an overreaction.
She's studied this issue for 13 years, counseling both sides. Homeschooling, she feels, can hurt your child.
You cannot protect them for life. You have to take bad situations and turn it around and make them stronger.
To do that, Dr. Schechner recommends going to the superintendent or school board if local teachers don't listen, therapy for the child, or even appealing to the other parents. Tricia Norman says that wasn't enough to save her child. Her daughter, 12-year-old Rebecca Sedgwick, committing suicide after months of relentless bullying in person and online. Norman tried to keep her home.
So homeschooling was an attempt to try to save your daughter.
But after 7 months, Rebecca wanted to be back with the other kids. Norman reluctantly agreed, but only if Rebecca agreed to enroll in a new school, which she did. But then she saw one of her old bullies in the hallway of her new school.
She was just too afraid that it was going to happen, and if it did happen, the school wasn't going to do anything about it.
Florida is taking active steps to protect our kids. In 2008, passing an act requiring all school districts to have specified policies addressing bullying and harassment. It includes student, staff, and parent training on bullying procedures. Counties in our area, like Pinellas, have gone beyond that, hiring a bullying prevention specialist, overseeing programs and making sure procedures are followed.
And it sent her life in a spiraling out of control.
The changes weren't enough to convince this father. Now 19, his daughter has a GED, but he says she has never recovered and continues to battle depression and drug addiction.
I've seen it firsthand. It's ruined my daughter's life, and I don't know if I'm ever going to have my sweet little innocent daughter that I look at the pictures of her and I see her, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get her back.
So what is the difference between a mean child and a bully? Well, there are 3 key components according to the doctor. Actual physical harm, repeated harassment, and ganging up on a child. That raises the teasing to a bullying level. Now, if you want to hear more of the doctor's advice about how to stop a bully from targeting your child, we have all of that on abcactionnews.com.